Good morning, everyone. Myself K. Kiran Kumar, working as lecturer in Electronics and Communication Engineering section. Presently working in Jawaharlal Nehru Government Polytechnic Institute located in Hyderabad. I am going to explain a topic in digital communication subject that is currently in 4th semester of C18 curriculum, and the subject code is EC 404. Right. First, we will see objectives of the current topic. On the completion of this period, you will able to know about pulse code modulation. So, this is one of the digital modulation techniques widely used in several applications. Then we will see what is meant by quantizing process. Then, and number of quantization levels required for PCM. So these are the topics we will going to cover in today's class. Right, just we'll recap. So in the last session we discussed about analog pulse modulation schemes. Means the different types of analog pulse modulation techniques like PAM, PPM, PWM. We are covered the total details like modulator as well as demodulation process of all the techniques we have seen. So as we told, this will include pulse amplitude modulation, that is PAM, then pulse position modulation, that is called as PPM, and pulse width modulation, that is PWM. We have seen all these techniques with examples also we are covered. Right, now first we will discuss pulse code modulation. So as we told in the last session, pulse modulation techniques are, one is pulse analog modulation and second one will be pulse digital modulation. In pulse analog modulation, which is having basically three types, that is PAM, PWM and PPM, and these three techniques are called as pulse analog modulation techniques. Now as we told, so PAM, PWM, PPM are digital but rarely used as a binary because pulse doesn't represent a single binary digit. Therefore, we are going for another type of modulation techniques called as pulse digital modulation techniques. So, which will include pulse code modulation, delta modulation and adaptive delta modulation. So these techniques are called as pulse digital modulation techniques. Right, now we will see first type of pulse digital modulation technique, that is PCM, that is pulse code modulation. Now as we told, PCM means pulse code modulation, and this is a digital modulation scheme or digital modulation techniques. So in this modulation technique, the information will be converted in pulses and expressed in the binary format, that is logical level 1, logical level 0. So that will be represented with either 0 or 1. Right. And this PCM technique will be developed by AT&T company AT&T company in 1937 at Paris Labs by Alex H. Reeves. Right. and here it is a form of source coding rather than a modulation technique. Right. And here it will use a sampling technique similar to the analog modulation schemes. So in the last session, if you are able to remember, I told sampling process, so which will convert a continuous signal into discontinuous signal. Therefore this PCM process also uses the sampling technique. Right. So as we told, in PCM, first message signal will be sampled, that is a continuous or analog signal will be converted into discrete form or discontinuous form by the process of sample. Therefore in the PCM, we will do the two things, that is first one will be the sampling, second one will be the quantizing process. The first step is the message signal will be sampled, that is it will be converted into samples or discontinuous form, and the amplitude of the each sample. So after taking the samples, so for example, as we told in the sampling theorem, whenever message signal frequency is 5 kilohertz, therefore sampling rate will be minimum of 2 times of that one. Therefore it becomes 10 kbps, that is 10,000 samples per second we have to take. So that is called as samples, means these samples will be depends upon the message signal frequency. For simple example, I will take, assume that message signal frequency is 10 hertz. For understanding sake, I am telling this example. If message signal frequency is 10 hertz, therefore minimum number of samples to be taken will be equal to 2 times of that one. Therefore 20 samples per second we have to take. Therefore, so this process called as sampling. This will be explained by sampling theorem. Therefore in the PCM, the message signal will be converted into samples according to the sampling theorem, and after that the amplitude of the each sample will be rounded off to the nearest integer values. So the meaning is, so for example, assume that if the sample of the sample amplitude of the sample value, assume that if it is 1.1 volt, therefore it will be rounded off to nearest integer value. Therefore it will be rounded off to 1 volt. Like that, suppose if amplitude of the sample value is 2.005 volts, therefore the nearest integer number will be, or nearest value will be, allowable value will be 2. Therefore the nearest value becomes 2. This process called as rounding off. So this is the second step we are doing in the PCM. Therefore in PCM, first we will take the samples by the process of sampling, then amplitude of the each sample will be rounded off to the finite sum of allowable values or integer values. Therefore in PCM, both time and amplitude values are in discrete form. Therefore, so time becomes discontinuous form and also amplitude also becomes discontinuous form. Therefore both are in discrete form. And in this scheme, the signal will be represented in the binary form, that is with help of the bits, that is 0 as well as 1 bit. Right. In US, this technique will be used within the public switched telephone network, that is called as PSTN. This means the message signal will be transmitted with help of the electrical signals. As you know, in the telephone communication, the voice signal will be transmitted in the form of electrical signal. Therefore, by using the same technique, we will allow the will transmit the message signal in the form of electrical signal. Right. The available range of signal voltage is divided into levels and each is assigned a binary number, as we told just now. So the signal, after taking the sample, the signal voltage will be rounded off, and that rounded off levels will be some finite levels are there. For each voltage level we are assigning some binary number. That thing we will discuss in the next one, in the quantization process. Just this is one of the example how we are converting a continuous signal or analog signal into how we are converting time and amplitude, both are into discrete form. First we will look at once. So here, so on the x-axis I will take the samples. So here I am mentioning the how the it will be rounded off to that value. So if you look at the waveforms here, that points, all points are called as, one second. So these points which I am mentioning, so these points, okay, so these points, so these points are the sample one where I am taking the sample value. If you look at this at that sample, if you look at the amplitude of that value, see once. So for example, just I am erasing this one. If you look at this one, just to see this point, so this point, if you look at that one, the corresponding nearest value is 15. Look at the amplitude here. On the axis I am taking the amplitude values, that is from 0 to 15. So if you look at the what I mentioned, that value, red color one, if you look at the amplitude at that sample will be nearest to 15. Therefore the corresponding value I have taken it as 15. This is called as rounding off. Similarly, I will take one more point. If you look at this point, see this point here. If you look at that point here, this here the amplitude will be nearest to 1. So therefore I will take this point as this amplitude as nearest amplitude as 1. Like that, similarly, take one more. Here I am taking this point. See this one, red color I am mentioning. At that one, their nearest amplitude will be 10. That's why the corresponding voltage I am writing on the x-axis, that is equal to 10. So this is called as rounding off to the nearest set of values, as I told in the example. I hope this is clear. Just look at once. This is the second step in the PCM, rounding off to the nearest levels. Right, and these levels are separated by equal voltage gradations. That means between each levels the voltage difference will be constant. Therefore, as we told, the first signal will be sampled, then it will be quantized, and after that one coding process will be done. So these are the three major steps in the PCM. First, continuous signal will be converted into discrete signal. Therefore, it will convert into discrete time signal. So after that, the sample amplitude of each sample will be rounded off to the possible set of values, that is called as quantization. So after taking the quantization, Therefore, each voltage level will be assigned with a binary code. So, for example, if possible, if number of levels is, you look at this diagram, just one second. Here I am taking the voltage levels. Look at the y-axis, 0 to 15 levels. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this up to 15 voltage levels I have taken. All voltage levels are constant. So after assigning the each sample to the nearest values from 0 to 15, and each voltage level will be assigned with a binary code. So that process is called as coding. So these are the three steps we are doing in the pulse code modulation technique. Therefore, as I told, so coding is the process assigning binary bits to the quantization levels. So if you look at the diagram, here I have taken 15 voltage levels, that is from 0 to 15. Sorry, total 16, that is for 0 to 15. So to represent 16 levels, I am considering 4-bit binary code, that is all zeros to all ones. Maybe you know this thing in the digital electronics. Therefore, to represent 15 level, I am considering 4 ones, that is 1, 1, 1, 1. Like that, the minimum level, that is 0 level, will be represented with 4 binary bits, that is 0, 0, 0. So this process is called as coding. Right, now we will see some more details. Quantization process. Just briefly we told what is the major steps in the PCM. Now we will see the quantizing methods. So the next step after sampling will be the quantizing. So just try to remember the definition. Quantization means the process of assigning voltage levels to the amplitude of the each sample is called as quantizing. So why we are doing this one? Because the original signal is having the infinite number of amplitudes. Therefore, by using the quantization process, these signal levels becomes limited or finite number of values. Right, this is one more figure. Clearly it is showing the how we are doing the quantization process. The blue color will be the continuous signal which is having infinite number of amplitudes. Here how we are doing the quantization, we'll see this. Here the red color, the points are called as how the rounding off will be done or how the quantization becomes. So see here, so this is the first sample, this is the second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like this many here. So here each sample we'll check the corresponding amplitude level that is given on the axis, that is from 0 to 14. So based on that one it will be rounded off. So after rounding off this one, if you add these points, the waveform will be look like as in the red color, because now after the quantization the infinite number of values becomes finite number of values. If you join all these points, therefore it will be look like in the red color, like it is a staircase or we can say stepwise signal. This is called as quantizing. And here the number of quantization levels depends on the number of bits used to express each sample value. Means suppose to represent each sample, if we consider 3 bits, therefore the number of quantization levels becomes 2 power of 3, that becomes 8. Therefore the number of quantization levels depends upon the number of bits representing the each sample value. Therefore, this will be given by capital N equal to 2 power of m, where n is the number of quantization levels, where small m is the number of bits per each sample. So this is about the quantizing. Just will make a summary out of this one. So in this period we discussed what is mean by pulse code modulation. So where it is a digital pulse digital modulation techniques, where we will do sampling, quantization and coding. Therefore, then we have discussed, just briefly we are told what is the meaning of quantizing and the number of quantization levels. So this is about the summary. Now just based on this one, try to answer these questions. First question, which of the following modulation schemes is digital? Just option A PPM, B PCM, C PWM, next D will be the PDM. Just to try to see the answer. So answer will be P, that is PCM. Number of quantization levels in a 10-bit PCM is, as we told just now the formula, n equal to 2 power of m. Just try to answer. So A will be 10, B will be 100, C will be 1000, D will be 1024, 1024. So answer will be 2 power of 10. Therefore the answer will be 1024. Next, to encode 64 level PCM, the number of bits required. Here the question will be reverse. Here n will be given as 64, we have to find out m. So just to try to answer, A will be 4, B will be 8, C option will be 6, option D will be 5. So therefore 64 can be written as 2 power of 6. Therefore answer will be, number of bits required is C, that is 6 bits are required. So now just we will look at some important questions from this topic. First question, what is PCM, that is pulse code modulation. Then what is quantizing? Third one, what is the effect of number on quantization levels in a PCM signal? So these are the some of the important questions from this topic. Now we'll look at next continuation, that is we'll see what is mean by quantization. The objectives of this topic is, upon completion of this period you will able to know principle of PCM, how PCM signal will be quantized, quantization noise in PCM. Then we'll discuss bit rate and dynamic range of a PCM system. Just now we discussed about pulse code modulation as a digital modulation scheme and quantization of PCM signals we are covered. Then we have seen what is mean by quantization. That means assigning voltage levels to the amplitude of the each sample. Now if you look at the principle of the PCM, here first the continuous signal will be converted into discrete time signal, that is called as sampling. So after sampling, for amplitude of the each sample will be assigned to a finite set of voltage values. So that principle we will see one more. Here the total amplitude range occupied by the signal will be divided into a number of standard levels as we seen in the example. Means, so whatever may be the amplitude, so based on that one, to cover the total amplitude of the message signal, we are considering some set of standard voltage levels. So that is the first step. Then the signal is sampled at regular intervals, so that is based on the sampling theorem, and the level actually sent at any sampling time is the nearest standard level called as quantization. That is, so the first step is after considering the voltage levels which will cover the total amplitude of the continuous signal, then we will take the samples. At each sample the corresponding voltage amplitude will be rounded up to the nearest standard level or nearest standard voltage level, so called as quantizing. So that principle we will explain in the following figure. See this one. First actual signal which is given in the solid line, then the other one which is given in the dotted line called as quantized wave. If you look at that one, if you look at the y-axis, here the values has taken, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this it has taken up to 10. So now look at that one, where rows and columns lines are touches, at that point the voltage will be assigned to the nearest values, that is shown in the x-axis, like 7, 11, 9, 11, 13, 13, 13, 11, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2. Means just we are taking the voltage at that particular sample to the nearest value. So in this one a small change. So after 10 it is should be 11, 12, 13, not 1, 2, 3, that is 11, 12, 13. So this will be called as quantized signal. Now if you look at the waveforms, so the quantized signal which is represented with the dotted line, after rounding off to the nearest set of voltage levels, that waveform will be slightly differs from the actual signal which is in the solid line. Now see this one. So if you look at these three waveforms, the first figure the number of quantization levels are less. In the second one the number of quantization levels are somewhat more. In the third figure number of quantization levels are more than the first and second figure. If you compare these three waveforms, in the first figure the quantized signal which is in the black color, that is totally more deviated from the original signal which is in a continuous form. If you look at the second one, the quantized signal which is in the dark black line, which is having somewhat deviation to the original signal. If you compare the last one, in this one the quantized signal which is in the black, which is almost nearer to the original message signal. Means So in the first one, number of quantization levels are very less. In the third one, second one, here quantization levels are somewhat more. In the third one, the quantization levels are more than the second one. Therefore, from this one, the meaning is, if more number of samples has taken, less will be the quantization errors, as in the case of third figure. Now, just we will see, now up to now we have seen quantization. Now we will see what is meant by quantization noise. As we just now told, if actual signal is compared with the quantized signal, we can observe that some noise is created because of the quantization process. That noise is called as quantization noise. Means the difference between the actual signal and the quantized signal will create a noise called as quantization noise. This noise will be quite random, as the difference between the digits sent and the actual signal at that instant is completely unpredictable. Right. The biggest error will be equal to half the size of the sampling interval. This quantization noise can be reduced by increasing the number of levels or the number of voltage levels until noise level will be acceptable. So means to reduce the quantization noise, the number of quantization levels should be more, as we seen in this third figure, this third one. Now look at this one. So it will show you the how the quantization noise will be varies. So the dotted line will be the original signal and the dark black one will be the quantizer signal. If you compare the dotted line with the dark line, just look at that error. That error will be some deviation is there, that is called as quantization error or quantization noise. See this one. So here the green color will be the actual variation of the signal. Then that red line above that one, it is called a quantized signal, means rounded up to the nearest integer, nearest to the nearest voltage level. So based on that one, the blue color line will be the difference between the actual signal and the quantized signal. It will be look like. Right. Now just look at the first one and second one. That first one will be the samples, that is after sampling that will be converted into samples. If you look at the first figure, here I am taking 3 4 5 6 7 6 samples that will be before quantization. So here in the next figure, what I am doing here, I am doing the quantization process, that is the sample of the each amplitude will be rounded up to the nearest voltage levels. So just look at that one. In the second figure, it will rounded off to the nearest integer values. Therefore, here the voltage before samples will be rounded off to the nearest voltage level value or standard value. So this is because of this one. If you draw the, if you join this one, just 1 second. Therefore, if you join this waveform, so this will be the, and this will be the original one. If you look at compare these ones, that is before quantization, after quantization, the variation will be different. The envelope of the signal will be somewhat difference. That is called as quantization error or quantization noise. Therefore, up to now we discussed about quantization, quantization error and quantization noise. Just now we look at some more two definitions, that is dynamic range. First we will see this one. The dynamic range of the PCM is the ratio of strongest possible signal that can be transmitted to the weakest signal. So in PCM, the levels are separated by equal voltages called as linear PCM. Means in PCM, the voltage difference between the each two levels, if it is constant or linear, then the type of PCM is called as linear PCM. So this is the, once again, red color will be the original signal and black color will be the quantized signal. Here I am taking the voltage levels, that is from 0 to 15. So based on that levels, I am rounding off to the nearest standard voltage value. So after that one, so if you join all the samples, it will be look like in the black color line. And this particular example will be 4-bit sampling, because if you take 4-bit sampling, the total values becomes 16, that is from 0 to 15 levels. Right, and this dynamic range is given by this dynamic range, the formula, standard formula will be 1.76 plus 6.02 into m, that is m will be the number of bits for each sample and this will be in decibels. Suppose if you increase the number of bits per sample, increases the data rate. So therefore that formula will be D equal to Fs into m, where D is the called as data rate in bits per second and Fs will be the sampling rate, the units are samples per second, then m will be the number of bits per second. So now we will say, as you know, a rate, it means how fast the work is happening with respect to time. Means with respect to time we can say it is a rate. So another one more important definition in this PCM is bit rate. It is very simple definition. It will refers to the amount of data, specifically bits, transmitted or received per second. That is, the number of bits transmitted or received per second is called as bit rate. And generally this bit rate will be mentioned in kilobits per second, that is kbps, or megabits per second or gigabits per second. Now just one more definition, that is baud rate. We will see that one. As I told, bit rate will be the number of bits transmitted or received per second, whereas baud rate will be the number of symbols transmitted per second. That is the difference between bit rate and baud rate. And the relation will be given by C equal to log base to M, where C is the capacity in bits per second, where S will be the baud rate in symbols per second, and M will be the number of possible states. A small example based on this one, try to answer this question. A radio channel has a bandwidth of 8 kHz and signal to noise ratio of 15 decibels. So what is the maximum data rate? So here calculate using any system using a code with 4 possible states. So from this given data, bandwidth is given as 8 kilohertz. S by N ratio is will be the 15 dBs. Just convert this signal to noise ratio into values. So that answer becomes S by N becomes anti-log of 1.5, that is 15 by 10, that becomes 31.6 since it is given in that. So as I told, so maximum data rate will be equal to C equal to B into log to 1 plus S by N. Just substitute the values, you will get 40.2 kilobits per second. So another M equal to 4, therefore C equal to 2B into log 2 of M. Just substitute the values, you will get 32 kilobits per second. So this is about the PCM and some important definitions in the PCM. Now just we'll summary. So in this period we discussed about the basic principle of the PCM, and then we have seen what is mean by quantization or quantization process in the PCM, then quantization error or quantization noise, then we have discussed what is mean by dynamic range, then bit rate, baud rate, and the relation between the baud rate and the channel capacity. So this is about the summary. So based on this one, try to answer these questions. So quantization noise occurs in TDM, FDM, C PWM, D will be PCM. So very simple to tell, that answer will be pulse code modulation. Right. The total amplitude range occupied by the signal is divided into number of standard levels. A will be quantizing, B will be sampling, C will be multiplexing, D will be modulation. So answer will be quantizing. Now some of the important questions from this topic. Look at the questions. Explain the principle of PCM and the quantization process of a PCM signal. Next one, what is mean by quantization noise? Next question will be, what is bit rate and what is a baud rate? Next question, define dynamic range of a PCM system. So these are the some of the important questions from this topic, that is pulse code modulation. So with this one, just we'll stop the class. In the next session, we'll discuss some more topics in the digital communication systems. And for the exam point of view, this pulse code modulation technique will be very, very important. So with this one, we'll stop the class. Thank you very much.